Welcome, my beautiful souls. Guess what time it is? It's time for Sagittarius. Um, so welcome. This is your reading. It's interesting. I want to say for September, and it is for September. But something is making me feel like don't put a timeline on it, Sandy. Just let it flow. So I'm going to say September, but there's something telling me, um, this is probably just the beginning of something. So welcome. Welcome to those who've been with me. Anyone who's new, welcome to our beautiful soul family. Um, I do have one request. If you do enjoy the video, and only if you enjoy it, please consider hyping it. It's a great way of really helping creators um, get more reach. And it's just a great way of helping if you want to. I mean, you certainly don't have to. So Sagittarius, this is going to be for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided to readings now. And boy, I'm just so proud of you for paying attention to your intuition, as are your guides. I also want to say this can be for those who may be in love with the Sagittarius, that fiery nature. Um, but your spirit guides know you're here, so they'll also have messages for you. These readings, I think it's important to know when you watch a tarot reading, you should feel it. Like, don't try to push anything. You should just truly feel it because, at least at this table, these are soul to soul connected readings. We are soul connected. So that's why one reading can resonate with hundreds of thousands of people, if not more. Um, so anyway, Sagittarius, we are doing something a little different this month. First of all, we're doing opposite signs again. I haven't done your opposite yet, which is Gemini, but I'll do it after this one. Um, and we're also, instead of doing like freestyle, what I normally do, I am going directly to our guides with 6 specific questions. And I have to tell you, they are answering them. They are answering them. Um, so I hope you can find your way through the reading. Again, trust your intuition. But let me tell you the questions I'm going to ask, and then we're going to get into the reading. Number 1, is anything blocking you or your growth? And if so, in what area? Number 2, what do your guides want you to know right now and why? Number 3, how will your love life look or be, whether you're single, whether it's new love, old love, past life love, or even current relationships? How is love going to look and be and feel, really? Number 4, which I feel is such an important question, but also great knowledge to know. What lessons from the past are helping you right now? Your past is your history, you know, and you can certainly just think back on your own history to see if you're repeating patterns, but really to see your own growth. So, what lessons from the past are helping you right now? Number 5, if single or interested in love, what type of person is crossing your path? Because you're crossing each other's paths. And last but not least, what energy is being called for you to use in the month of September moving forward? So I feel like, this may give you a lot of help, if it's calling for a certain energy. could certainly help, let's just say, you manifest. So these are the questions. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a few different tarot decks. Everything is always pre-shuffled. I just want you to know that. But we will give Mother Mary the honor of opening up your reading. I am going to use the major arcanas for bullet points. That's really what I do, but they tell their own beautiful little story. And always, I mean, I can't think of one time when they haven't related right back to the main reading. So to answer your questions, we're going to use the crystal vision, and then I'm going to take a light seer. This is the light seer tarot above, and the gilded tarot below. So we're covering all bases. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to bring this lid down a little bit. All right. So it's funny, the chariot was giving me a hard time. And this is not the first time the chariot has given me a hard time. And I shouldn't say a hard time. It wanted to be seen. Let's just put it that way. So that speaks of your unlimited potential. For some of you, can relate back to a Cancer. It may speak of balance, but we'll see. It'll let us know. All right, Mother Mary. Mother Mary, Mother Mary. Didn't take long at all. Tenderness. Tenderness. I am both gentle and powerful. Gentle and powerful. Well, that, my friends, is the Empress's energy. And the Emperor's. Powerful and gentle at the same time. How can that be? Well, because the Empress trusts her intuition above all else. She doesn't create walls or barriers. She trusts her, like her intuition. The way I see it is it's like an energetic force that surrounds her. And anything that's coming into that energetic force, if it's, let's say, a lower vibration or a negative of a negative nature, the alarm bells will go off, and the Empress will know that. So I feel like just that I'm talking about the Empress in detail already, I feel like I have a feeling we're going to see the Empress, or it may just be calling for you to be in your Empress's energy. You know, I feel like we all carry the Emperor and the Empress's energy, but it is about life experiences. It doesn't have to mean you're old. It just means you've gone through things, but you've also reflected upon them and you let them go. You let the past be the past. You extracted the wisdom, and the rest, bye-bye. All right, let's bring in the major arcanas. I'm going to give them just a quick shuffle. Okay. Give myself a little bit more room here. It's interesting because I just got done doing two different podcasts before I did your reading, and one was the love story of the King and Queen of Cups, and the second one was the love story of the King and Queen of Wands, which would that's what you would fall under. I haven't released it yet, but I think I'll release it right before your video because they'll probably go hand in hand. It was quite the story. All right. Judgment. This is your spiritual team, and they're calling you to the present moment. This means there's about to be some type of rebirth. Many times you have you do have free will, um, and sometimes you don't have to accept it. But I feel like judgment would only bring energy, um, that would be very good for you. Sometimes I feel like there's predestined, let's just say seeds of intention that maybe haven't come to fruition yet. Well, judgment would know that. So it could mean that there's a seed that's about to come to fruition. Judgment also reminds you that I send your signs, your messages, because this is what judgment is. It is your guiding team. But I send your signs through your intuition. So what is blocking you? Well, it could be that you're not paying attention to your intuition. It could signify that, your thoughts are still in the past. Something hasn't, well, maybe something wanted to come to completion. We'll see. Let's continue. Let's go above it. We have the Queen of Wands, which is definitely you. And I love this image because I just feel like she's in such a Zen position and she's rising above like any drama, like the drama of the world. But it could even be the drama in her own household. This is a very intuitive queen. Interesting because I feel like that's what judgment is saying. Some of you may not be, you may just be missing some signs. And hopefully this reading will give you those signs. All right. And then beautiful. Temperance, your major arcana. So if you don't think judgment is talking to you, hello, major arcana. And temperance talks about number one, patience. But I feel like the day of patience has now come to an end because judgment is calling you to the present moment. So this now becomes divine timing. And I love how you're being represented above judgment and below judgment. Divine timing. Maybe it is that you need to trust in divine timing. I already feel, as some are saying, I have been. I have been. How long is it going to take? Well, I don't know that something is going to take a long time. I think it's more about what is your intuition telling you? Is there something of the past that you're having a hard time letting go of? Because temperance, the patience that she asks for, she also gives. So sometimes it's the universe being patient with us. And I have a feeling that's part of it. Why am I? Oh, what am I doing? Like, why did I put judgment there? That is weird. So I did not mean to put them there, but I'm going to leave them just as they are. Hello, Will. Hello, Destiny. Hello, Blind Faith. I say that because this woman is about to spin this wheel and she has a blindfold on. Almost like wherever you want to take me, I'm ready to go. And what else I find interesting is even though she's got a blindfold on, there's people waiting behind her and they have blindfolds on. So I have this sense of trusting in divine timing, spinning that wheel. And even that I already spoke of like predestined seeds. Wow, this may be leading you to one of them. Hello, world. Hello, new chapter. So the world definitely signifies that something has come to completion. I don't know. I just get this feeling that there's a few that are being resistant with closing a chapter. But this is really the promise of a beautiful new chapter if I allow it to be. The Fool is in the middle, so it is about taking a leap of faith. And, it's sitting right next to the wheel. Interesting. Two circles, no beginning, no end. As above, so below. So I feel like your spiritual team is going to be asking you to take a leap of faith. Yet at the same time, I feel pretty confident in saying that what it's moving you to is a destined time anyway. The world to me is really the most spiritual time. This is when I feel like I'm walking hand in hand with my spirituality. Let's put it a different way. This is when I'm starting to realize that I am the author of my own book. I am the writer, right? I have the pen and paper. Judgment sends the signs. And then we get justice. Well, this is, I feel, the resistance. So, something that may need to be eliminated, cut out of your life. But listen, when justice shows, it means that there's something that's unbalanced anyway. And I feel the minute we use that sword, balance we find. So this is, by not using the sword, I feel like it's not allowing the energy of the world to come to completion, which could certainly, slow down what judgment your spiritual team wants to bring in. Again, I feel like they're only following your soul's intentions, anyways. You just may not know that yet. So, this sword, by the way, first of all, is a card of Libra, but this sword doesn't have to mean like I'm cutting people out of my life or I'm getting a divorce. It can mean that for sure. It can certainly mean the law, but it can also be our thoughts, our thought system. Maybe we're not believing in ourselves for some reason. Again, this woman spinning this wheel with blind faith. That means she's putting her trust in divine. And I have to say, and soon I won't be saying this anymore, but we are in the year of the Hermit, the final 9 year chapter, or this is the 9th year of a 9 year chapter. And then we began the zero, that new chapter. Well, that's what the world represents. So, literally, the Hermit wants you to reflect this year on your life, on the people in your life, on the situations in your life. And are you happy? Do you want more? Do you want better? And do you believe that you can have that? Because I do believe that. Now, I believe that because that's what your spirit guides are putting in me. So, blind faith, a new chapter, using that sword of justice. When justice shows up in a reading, also, it is about making you whole again. So if you're not feeling whole, think about what that sword could be used for to bring you back to wholeness. Judgment is all about what's fair and just. And let's face it, the world isn't always fair and just, but there's a lot we can control in our own lives. The one thing we certainly can control is ourselves. So, I don't want to harp on that, but it does seem important because I feel like once that sword is used, that wheel is spun, and then we're on to the next chapter. The Fool in the middle. I'm going to take a leap of faith. I want this new adventure. That's how I look at the Fool, the dreamer, the one looking for adventure. And you are a fire sign. Okay. So I'm not going to keep these out, but I certainly will remember them. All right. So interesting that, again, I did not mean to put judgment here, but I am not going to call it a mistake. We are just going to accept it and make a little bit more room. All right. So is there anything blocking you? Though I feel like that answer, I feel like we already answered that, but let's do it through this deck. Anything blocking you or your growth right now? Page of Wands. You know, this feels like your inner child. You know, that part of you that was always up for adventure. You're really not a fear-based energy. Doesn't mean you don't have fear. We all have fear. But you normally don't allow fear to come between you and what it is you want to accomplish, let's say. I feel like this is asking you to remind yourself of that youthful spirit, that sense of adventure. You know, I always call this page my risk taker because this page is someone who wants adventures. And of course, they're not all going to pay off. But this page gets back up again, gets back up where others may kind of wallow for a while. Not this page. I'm not going to say, like, I don't take a week and wallow in my sorrow, but then I'm back up on my horse. All right, light seers. Interesting. We have the King and Queen of Wands together. And then, the Seven of Wands. Feels like there's some arguments going on. Just feels like it does feel like that. You know, I would say that I love seeing the Queen and King together, and I do, but I do feel there's an issue. This King or Queen, I feel like one of them might carry more, let's just say, immature energy, where the other, and I don't know, I feel like it's the Queen because it is the Queen that's rising above. It's the Queen that is in this Zen state. Now, you could be a male and be the Queen, remember that. But don't forget, judgment speaking right to you. And I definitely feel like bringing out that inner child, taking some adventures. I'm thinking of justice now. And for some of you, it could be the cutting of ties because the Seven of Wands is really the energy of standing your ground. And, you know, it is important that we learn how to stand our ground. But I also feel sometimes to what point, to what extent. You know, me standing my ground, is it going to matter in the long run? Or should I just go off in this new adventure? Hmm. All right. So, what do your guides want you to know right now and why? The Five of Cups. Interesting. Five of Cups. Five of Cups is focusing on who or what we have lost. This can be, if I stay in it too long, it can turn in the woe is me energy. This is not your natural energy. I don't know why I'm picking that up all of a sudden. Like, I feel like some of you just aren't in your natural energy, but you have the ability to be. Maybe it's just remembering who you truly are. Now, in this Five of Cups, it is a five, so it speaks of change. And there are two cups literally behind this person. To me, that's a soulmate. I don't know it yet, right? It's when I change my focus. It's when I start looking at the potential of my tomorrow instead of the hell of my past. Because this is kind of a sad state. We've all been there. We've all been there. 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. The House of Abundance. Put these a little closer. Mirrored by the High Priestess. Your intuition. Interesting. I feel like Judgment, number one, talking about the present moment. But in the Five of Cups, I'm not in the present moment. I'm in the past. And, if this has anything to do with love, well, I may not even know that there's two cups that still exist. But my intuition, if I'm in the present moment, and if I'm paying attention to the signs, sometimes those signs just mean you're going to feel it within. I feel like that will usher in the change. Some of you could have been connected to someone and your money might be connected. And that may be why it's hard to use that sword. It's interesting because I feel like the Ten of Pentacles was, but I feel like the Ten of Pentacles can be again. I'm not sure if it's with the same person or people at this point. And I'm saying that because in the Five of Cups, when I move out of that state and I move back into the present moment, it won't be long. Let's not forget, we saw your will. We saw your destiny. So I feel like it won't be long until we'll know who these two cups are. To me, it feels like someone has stolen your joy, your zest for life. And it feels like more of just accepting versus action. Your spiritual team is speaking to you right now through your intuition, calling you to bring out that inner adventurous self of you. I feel like getting in fights and arguments, especially with Mercury in retrograde. I just get the sense of, boy, I wish something would have worked out differently or better. But it doesn't seem like it did. But this isn't the end for you. Especially when you see the Five of Cups. It's really just the beginning. But first, I got to change my focus. And it's interesting because the very next question is, how will your love life look in the month of September moving forward? Well, hello, Will. So that's beautiful. By the way, this could be two soulmates and both wheels are spinning. It is right next to the Five of Cups, which puts it closer to those Two of Cups. Because the Three Cups are over here. The Two Cups are right beside that wheel. Destined. Judgment, mirroring the wheel right now. This is what your spiritual team is trying to get across. The Five of Wands. Drama. Fighting. Competition. Can be friendly competition, but it doesn't look that way. Be competition over money. Who rules the house? The king may say, I rule the house. And the queen's like, well, no, you don't. And this is not to put, I don't want to put this king down because I don't know. I just don't want to put him down. But I do feel that something happened between this king and queen. And I do feel drama is a part of it. In the Five of Cups, which by the way is another five. So the wheel has two fives around it, and five stands for change, but it's about graceful change. That can be done. That can be hard, especially if there's a lot of aggression going on. Sag, I feel like just be careful not to get pulled into other people's drama. And I think that's why we see the queen rising above all this. You have a mix of beautiful cards and some difficult cards. But the difficult ones are the ones that want to come to an end. Let's see what's under the wheel. Look at that. Hello, double wheel. Hello, soulmates. This is this is your love life. Holy crap. This is your love life. Right next to your intuition. Trusting your intuition. What did I just say about this wheel? It's sitting so close to those two cups that really have not been discovered yet. Wow. Do I feel like temperance, which is all about divine timing, is bringing this about? Listen, this is destined. This is destined. And that's why I said that. I don't feel like anything is a mistake. Even the way I put down this card, where it's not what I meant to do, but it fits perfectly. Boy, all of a sudden I'm thinking of a Sonny and Cher song. Put your hand in mine. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. I've got you, babe. I can't think of the other words. All right, well, hello, love life. And we may come back and look at that a little deeper. But let's continue going forward for right now. So, number 4, what lessons from your past are helping you right now? Temperance, patience, trusting in divine timing. Maybe you didn't before. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you wanted what you wanted and you wanted it now. But maybe it wasn't its right time. I love the beautiful butterflies around her. And I say that because, and all of a sudden I have goosebumps, my whole body. But what I was going to say is I feel like butterflies, for some of you, represent loved ones who have crossed before us. They're still here, right? They're just in spirit form. Look at them all around you. Oh my God. Look at this. Temperance. Again. Above, in the middle, and I will freak out if it comes out again. Well, it can't because it's already out. Oh my God. How's that? How's that for bringing these two cups about? Soulmates. I feel like part of your past lesson really was in patience. I have a feeling that you probably have loved a few times. And remember, we're asking about past lessons. So I feel like your past lesson has been about love. And it may be about patience, like winning the right, especially with the wheel here twice, actually three times. You're right. When the timing is right, the timing is right. Temperance is here three times. Holy cow. This is why I love doing tarot. It blows my mind every single time. And I've been doing it for over 20 years. And the day it stops blowing my mind may be the day that I quit. But I don't think that's going to happen. Wow. So just let me quickly go over this again before we move to the next question. Because judgment, calling you to the present moment, there's about to be a rebirth. We saw the world, which is the new beginning, with the Fool in the middle, taking a leap of faith. We saw justice, cutting of ties. That's what these fives are standing for. But the cutting of these ties, what does it do? It balances you. It brings you back to wholeness. The two cups behind this five of cups sits right on your wheel. That blind faith that we saw in the beginning, wow, no wonder she's got a blindfold on. No wonder she's just trusting. She's trusting. And then look what temperance brings out, the actual two cups. And by the way, how could the two of you not be being guided at the same time? The synchronicities are just ridiculously off the chart. The wheels together, temperance together, temperance over here. It's two cups. Well, here they are. The soulmates. I know, I'm getting a little excited. But really, I'm excited for you. Okay. Wow. Um, what question are we on? What lessons from the past, right? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no, that's this. Okay, 5. No, it's now I'm lost. Is single or interested in love? What type of person is crossing your path? I feel like we just asked that. And if we did, then we know it's a soulmate. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I must have asked it. All of a sudden, I feel confused. Okay, so we are going to come back and look at some of this energy, but let's keep going. So, what energy is being called for you to use in the month of September moving forward? Seven of Cups, making a decision. This is an emotional decision. That makes sense. Seven of Cups can talk about chaotic energy, but still needing, well, the best thing you can do in the Seven of Cups is center yourself. Like, what do I want to say? Close the noise from the outside sources and just listen within. This is how it'll be easier for you to decide. I feel like it's a soulmate. And judgment again is now mirroring the Seven of Cups. So maybe just putting your trust in divine, in your spiritual team, that this wheel or these wheels are truly producing a soulmate, love, love of a high vibration. Let's make that clear. With so much divine energy on the board, this is definitely of a high vibration. I have to say, with what we're seeing right now, I would think it would be easier and easier as we go along to say, you know what? Maybe I am going to close that door. The Hierophant. Another five, by the way. This is the card of Taurus. This is, it's a five because it wants you to question the energy around you and yourself, your morals. I love this image because it's like the stairway to heaven, Led Zeppelin. Um, it feels like enlightenment is what it feels like. It feels like you are becoming enlightened, awakened. And I have to say that I feel like many times becoming awakened usually means that we've gone through some difficult things because it's seeking the light, and oftentimes we only seek the light when we're in the dark. I mean, that's human nature. But this is different now because I feel like you are questioning maybe this king. And again, the king could be a queen, but do our morals match? Do we want the same things in life? Here I am growing spiritually, but maybe someone else isn't. Those are the energies that naturally, if we allow, want to fade away. Or let's put it a different way. When I say naturally want to fade away, the universe may show a few towers. There could be resistance, but I feel like your spiritual team is doing what they were meant to do. And that is to awaken you to the fact that there's a soulmate that sits on your wheel. And this is its divine timing. So any towers I had to throw, I'm doing it in your favor. But even with towers, it doesn't mean that you necessarily move on from that. So I do feel like there's been some resistance, and maybe this reading is just to show you the potential of your tomorrow, but it's starting right now. Some of you, it may be the clearing of the past that just ushers everything else in. Look at that. There's that Five of Wands again. You're making a decision whether to stay with someone, to let them go. Again, this could be one of the reasons why maybe I stayed, because I don't feel a lot of emotional love, let's just say. I'm not saying there wasn't love, but I'm not feeling, or maybe you didn't feel it. You have a lot of fives. Well, not a lot. You have 3 fives. And fives, again, stand for change. But you're making that decision. You know, I know sometimes I'd rather put it in divine's hands. Go ahead and make the decision for me. Right? But it's got to be up to us. So I feel like simply ask yourself, who's in your life? What's in your life that's not really matching where you see yourself going, how you would like your life to look? And then believe that you have the ability. Number one, just by the completion alone, opens up the door to what's next. It's not even like you have to do anything other than to use that sword to make a decision. But other than that, I feel like everything is just kind of flowing. And who knows, maybe this soulmate, you could certainly be or have gone through similar energy. All of a sudden, I also get this, not a feeling, but a message that for some of you, this soulmate is someone you already know. But I feel like it's someone, and I don't feel like that's everyone. Um, and the reason why I'm feeling that is it's just reminding me of someone who, let's say is in a relationship, but it is not good. It is, like the emotions are not flowing easily. And then when I lay my head down on the pillow at night, my mind, my heart may go back to a time. Yet at the same time, I feel like, listen, I feel like if I make the change, number one, the rest will take care of itself. You will be at the right place at the right time. And some of you, you don't even have to leave your house. It may be a phone call. It could come in a million different ways. 2 twos on this line. One is your intuition. The other is the soulmate. What a reading, Sagittarius. Okay, let's look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Wow. This is definitely about communication. Queen of Swords. I feel the Queen of Swords is you. It's interesting because she's mirroring the Five of Wands. But the Queen of Swords has no problem speaking her piece. Maybe as a page, I had to learn how to use my voice. But now I feel like she is using her voice. She might be just stating that I've had enough. Let's say this is talking about a relationship is coming to an end. I don't feel like you didn't try. I feel the opposite. I feel like you tried and you tried and you tried. But listen, this could have been just a free will choice or a free will partner or even a karmic soulmate. Because karmic soulmates teach us so much about ourselves and often through difficult lessons. Many times they're getting us ready for what I call our true soulmate. Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Interesting, two sevens mirroring each other. You also have the Seven of Wands here. And then we have the Strength card. Card of Leo. This reminds me of Mother Mary's message. This person is half lion, half human. She's got this beautiful, gentle little lamb on her lap. There's the power and the strength. There's the gentleness and the tenderness. It's like she's wearing her heart outside of her body. Why? Because I feel that this heart is with the wrong person. I say the wrong person, but I don't mean that as in you made the wrong decision. I mean that as in it just feels like it's over. You know, the strength card means that you have had inner flexion. It means that you were daring enough to look within yourself. The strength card wants us to know ourselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything. And then learning how to balance it. It's not about getting rid of fear. That's impossible, right? That's just part of life. I mean, I guess it's possible, you know, if you're completely like if you have I'm thinking of oh my god, a speaker, a motivational speaker, Eckhart. I can't think of his last name. I think it starts with a T. It's interesting how I remember things. I usually remember it by initials. But anyways, so yeah, I guess you can reach true enlightenment. Okay. I feel like we definitely have to go back and look. So, what deck do I want to use? Um, you know what? I'm going to use the deck with no name. I say the deck with no name because I cannot remember the name, but I haven't used them in a while. So, I want to clarify just a couple things. I can't believe the synchronicities. I can believe it. Um, I just hope you're seeing it, feeling it like I am. Yes, I am feeling the sadness, the harshness of the past. I am feeling that. But I also feel the beautiful potential of your today and tomorrow. Using that sort of justice, it's not easy. Your guides know that. But doesn't mean it doesn't have to be done here and there. And again, it doesn't always have to mean a person, though I do feel like for some of you, it definitely feels like a relationship that, let's just say, wasn't all it could be. You know, maybe financially we had a good home, but I don't feel the emotions within that home, just the money. And sometimes that makes it hard to make a change, right? But I have to be willing. You know, when I see the Ten of Pentacles, and if I'm leaving the Ten of Pentacles, yes, that may take me down to the Five of Pentacles. But just how I felt that Ten of Pentacles earlier, like it's what was or is, and if I am cutting ties, well, I will recreate that Ten of Pentacles just with someone else. But the love is going to flow if you allow. All right, what do I want to look at? I mean, I'm just amazed at the synchronicities. So I think what I want to start at is, I was going to say, let's start at the King of Wands. Okay, Justice and the King of Wands. So bye-bye, King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands doesn't have to mean it's a fire sign. I feel like it's someone who probably doesn't take a lot of action as it relates to love. Who knows? Maybe you made the majority of the money. But I really was thinking to myself when I was shuffling, is this king meant to stay or go? Well, hello, Justice. So that answered the question immediately. And why? Again, I don't feel like this person's giving you the emotional support that love really needs. All right, so we're going to move off of that. And now I'm going to come down to the wheel that's sitting right next to the Five of Cups, where it's so close to those two cups, and Temperance following that. Like, it's like Temperance is saying, now this is divine timing, my dear. Look at that. The Ten of Cups. So maybe you're changing houses. Maybe where it was all about the money, now it's about the love. This is the house of harmony, love, laughter, joy. I don't know why, but when I always pick up this card, I feel like lovers dancing, like in the kitchen. I feel the romance of it. And even if there are kids involved, it could be a blended family. I may have kids, they have kids. That won't matter because this is the house of love. Now, doesn't guarantee you that there won't be any issues. But here's the difference that I'm feeling. In this house, we work it out. We talk it out. Like we've made a commitment to each other. And this commitment's going to last. And why? Because temperance and the wheel are connecting you and a soulmate. And to me, the Ten of Cups usually means forever. Let's see if anything else wants to come out with it. You know, it's funny because I remember doing Virgo's reading, and I think I wrote that this is the greatest love story. But boy, do I feel like your love story or this love story, if we allow it, it's just off the charts. Three of Swords, heartache, broken heart. Someone broke your heart. You know, it does speak about loss. Right above it is the Five of Wands. A lot of drama. You know, I feel like I tried. I told you the way I was feeling over and over again. I told you I wasn't emotionally fulfilled. I need more. I need your affection. But I feel like it fell on deaf ears. Well, so be it. So be it. I tried. And that's all I can do. That's all I can do. All right. I want to come down to the wheel, the second wheel that's connected to the soulmates. They're really all connected because with two wheels, two soulmates, two temperances, divine timing for each of the soulmates, right? The wheel for each of the soulmates. It's just wow. All right. Anything else we can know about that? How about the Ace of Pentacles? This talks about something that's coming into your physical world. It's tangible. It's touchable. It feels like it's kissable. This pentacle, I often feel, starts as a seed. And if we nurture this seed, it will only grow and blossom and send out new seeds. This is not a one-time thing. For right now, it feels like it's what's connecting you. Like it's telling you that this isn't just, yeah, I'd like to have a soulmate. It's showing you that is coming into your physical world and you theirs. Because I have a feeling that this other soulmate has also gone through something that is kind of mind bending. Like, what do I do? What do I do? But each, it feels like, is listening to, let's just say, their intuition. Each, I feel, has had enough of what was and is ready for something new. So the Ace of Pentacles connects you. Who brings in this Ace of Pentacles? The Knight of Pentacles. I refer to the Knight of Pentacles as our guardian angel. Judgment, the very first card, which wasn't even meant to be placed there, but is placed there. All right, anything else want to come out with that? I was just going to say, come out now. King of Cups. Now there's a king that will show you their emotions. It makes sense sitting next to the Ten of Cups. Or not next to the Ten of Cups. Where'd the Ten of Cups go? Oh, I picked it up. King of Cups, it can represent Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But the reason why I tell you it doesn't have to be, because I don't want you just like, let's say it's a Taurus, for example, or a Gemini, which is your opposite. I don't want you to then be like, well, wait a minute, you're not a fire sign, so you can't be my soulmate. But I am. I am. But you can't be. You're not a cup. So that's why I tell you, think of the energy of, especially the people. This is someone who, in the upright, loves love, loves being in a relationship. If it came reversed, I would tell you, don't even. Been there, done that. And then we have the Prince of Pentacles. Interesting. Interesting. I say that because we have two pages right now, don't we? I know. Oh, there we are. There you are, the Page of Wands. And now the Page of Pentacles. You know, I do feel like let's just say, I feel like 20% of you already know who this person is. You're soul connected. Like you do know them, and you will know them for eternity. So whether you choose yes or no, you're still soul connected. But look what this page is holding. Pentacle. It's almost like he's saying, will you accept my pentacle? And you're like, hell yeah. Damn right I will. You're showing me everything I've been missing. And chances are they've been missing it too. The Ace of Pentacles to me also represents stability. So someone's stable, but also loving. Well, probably loving and tender. Wow, your reading is just blowing me away. All right. I am going to let this part be, but I am going to bring out the clarifying love situations. We'll give them a quick shuffle, though I did pre-shuffle them because I knew I was going to use them. This is the time when I'm thinking like, how do I let Sagittarius know everything that's in this reading with only the ability to use a few words, right, on YouTube? That's all I can use. You can only make your title. Boy, all of a sudden I forgot how many characters, but it's not many. So I have that in the thumbnail to really grab your attention. But I'll think of something. All right, clarifying love situations. And after this, we'll bring out the romance angels, and then we shall let it be. All right, let's start with what came first. Beyond compare. Don't compare your love to anyone else. It's unique. Someone didn't appreciate that about you. That's their loss. Someone else is going to. Don't compare your love to anyone else. It's unique. And then we have love potion. Open your heart to truly feel the magic of love. Wow. And that's what this reading is. It feels like magic. Love potion number 9. And that would make sense. We're in the universal year 9. Open your heart to truly feel the magic of love. Hello, magic, right in front of us. Okay. Romance angels. It's interesting because I'm thinking we already have the soulmates out. We have divine timing everywhere. But, trust in divine timing, which is your major arcana. So it is something you really want to learn to do. Like, I feel if nothing else, we want to learn what our major arcana means. And yours is about patience, but that's because you're fire. I want to go, right? I want to go. But sometimes some things take patience, but not anymore because this timing, it's soon, if not now. Some of you may already be going through this. And boy, if you are, I would love for you to share just to help those who may still feel a little stuck. I'm not telling you to use that sword unless you want to use that sword. But it is pretty clear that you're not receiving what you deserve. And it also is very clear that this soulmate energy, it is its timing. It just is. That's why we saw the wheel in the very beginning, the world, the next chapter, and the spirituality connected to it. Well, that would be the Hierophant. So, living life with someone who has, similar goals in mind. It's like the soulmates are climbing the ladder or the stairway to heaven together. Together. All right. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Wow. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided judgment to take. And it's not just saying love, it's saying great love. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate, hello, soulmate. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That's why you want to keep an open mind. Look at the angel's influence over this love. Look at how the woman is leaning forward, just listening to the man. I have a feeling he's got a good sense of humor. Don't ask me why. I just feel that. You know what I feel like? The best thing to do here is just think about you. Think about where your own energy is at. Think about your own life. Where do I want to make changes? Again, this is exactly what this year is for. What's serving me? What's not? And that just gets rid of the noise, let's say. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Wow. I know that's true because I again have a feeling that there is one who just didn't put actions behind their words. Maybe they had a very hard time like showing emotions, whatever it may be, but those are their issues. Yes, we do take them on like it's against us, but sometimes they just don't know how. And I'll be damned if you're meant to teach them, right? Because this is a grown person. And I feel like, I don't know, all of a sudden I feel mad at this person. Like you're a grown ass person. You not showing emotions was a choice that you made. And now, here's the consequences of that. And that's that. Case closed. Sagittarius is off on a new adventure. That's how you should look at this. It's a new adventure. And let's see where it takes you. But if you have your eyes wide open, if you're trusting in divine, again, I feel like there's nothing you need to do other than that. because I feel like the soulmates will come together, however it's going to be, right? Whether it's through a conversation or I'm at the right place at the right time. This is where your guidance is coming from. So try to really listen to your intuition this month. Keep in mind that Mercury is in retrograde. And I don't know why I'm thinking that right now, other than it could have you second guessing. But that's not really Mercury's way. But for some reason, I'm feeling that. So literally, it is like the difference of night and day. It is like you're moving from the Ten of Pentacles into the Ten of Cups. But that doesn't mean that the Ten of Pentacles won't be a part of it. Okay, I'm going to let this be because holy cow, I could go on and on and on. And I know some of you be like, do it, Sandy. Go on and on and on. But I will do like some special readings once I'm done with the monthlies. But wow, yours takes the cake. That's for sure. I love you, Sagittarius. I pray that all this opens up to you in the most unexpected but joyful ways. Let divine blow your mind. And so it is. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.